I already know people see the title of this video and they're going to be like, Chase, how dare you? How dare you say such a dastardly thing in the YWC and IWC? Do you have a heart? Do you have a soul? And yes, I do have a heart and a soul. But I also have an opinion. And this is my opinion. That Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose currently shouldn't be feuding in the WWE. It is way too damn early to see these two young superstars feud with each other. Seriously. They haven't even been built up to make me feel excited for this feud. It wasn't like there was some nice, long, epic build-up over a mid-card title, or it was just Dean Ambrose was obsessed with Bray Wyatt, or vice versa. Bray Wyatt was obsessed with Dean Ambrose, and it leads to a feud with them there. No, it's just some stupid, dumb dick ending at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and now we're getting Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose for whatever fuck's reasons, and a lot of you guys are sitting here eating the shit, liking the taste of it, saying, oh, it's going to be epic, it's going to be awesome, just because of the name value of the superstars. You don't really look into the storyline whatsoever. You look at the name value that it's Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, and you automatically assume that this feud is going to be awesome and epic. How? How is this feud going to be awesome and epic? How is this feud going to help Bray Wyatt or Dean Ambrose? Because really, when we look at the current state of the WWE right now, people, it's not good. The current state of the WWE could not think of any creative ways to book Dean Ambrose or Bray Wyatt to be in a semi-entertaining feud. And that's just the truth. I mean, look at the current state of the WWE. This company, people, still believes we want to see John Cena as WWE Champion. You guys understand that, right? That this company still believes that us the fans, us the viewers, want to see John Cena as champion. Otherwise, John Cena wouldn't have won at Hell in a Cell against Randy Orton. No, they would have given us something fresh and unique like Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar, but instead, they gave us Cena versus Lesnar because they still believe us as a fan base want to see John Cena either win a championship or go for a championship. I mean, how can you defend this company right now saying they could do well with the Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose feud? Look at all the other young superstars or, guys that they made into stars. Look at what they had planned for them booking-wise. Look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan became a star at WrestleMania. He was their WWE Heavyweight Champion, and it looked like he was going to have a long run with the WWE Heavyweight title. But how are they going to end that run? Oh yeah, remember what happened to John Cena at SummerSlam, people? They were going to have Brock Lesnar do that to Daniel Bryan. How the fuck does that make sense? Where you book Daniel Bryan to be a motherfucking monster just to get his ass manhandled by Brock Lesnar. How does that make sense? How do you feel like the WWE knows how to tell a good fucking story if they were going to make Daniel Bryan overcome all these damn obstacles, and then here comes Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar totally jobs him out? I mean, how does it make sense that Brock Lesnar jobbed John Cena out? It doesn't. The current state of the WWE is just bad. And another example is Roman Reigns. Look at Roman Reigns. Not even 2 months in his singles run, and people were already comparing the motherfucker to John Cena. It hadn't even been 2 months, and people were like, oh, he's the next John Cena. That's bad when you're trying to build up someone to be your next big star, and people are already comparing him to the crap known as John Cena. I'm just saying, people, it's not good right now at the WWE, and especially what they've done with Bray Wyatt's character and Dean Ambrose's characters over the months, it doesn't really make me interested in this feud. No one benefits from this feud. It sounds like a cool idea on paper, but at the end of the day, it's just like, what does Bray Wyatt gain out of this? What does Dean Ambrose gain out of this? To me, no one's a winner in this feud. If they were going to feud later on in their careers, it would make sense when both characters are established. But WWE hasn't done anything to make me believe Bray Wyatt's an established character or that Dean Ambrose is an established character. I mean, let's look at Bray Wyatt. How can anyone tell me Bray Wyatt right now is an established character in the WWE? Or an established star for that matter? How does Dean Ambrose beating Bray Wyatt make Dean Ambrose look credible? Because really, to be honest, the WWE hasn't done anything to make me believe Bray Wyatt's a credible character whatsoever. He's like a lifeless creature out there. Literally, all Bray Wyatt has done, mostly in his WWE run, is cut random promos that people love just because he's speaking in tongues and he has a good southern accent and he sounds cool speaking to promos and he laughs like a joker. So people like that creepiness factor in Bray Wyatt. But besides that, it's just like, he's a lifeless creature. If WWE believed in this guy and actually thought he was an established star, they would have had him beat John Cena at WrestleMania. That's just the truth. They don't really believe in this guy. The problem with Bray Wyatt is they started him off way too fucking strong in the beginning of this year. And what I mean is, at Royal Rumble 2014, you had this guy pin Daniel Bryan 1-2-3 clean. Then, followed up the pay-per-view at Elimination Chamber, you had it where this guy pinned Roman Reigns 1-2-3 clean in that Wyatt family versus Shield match. So really, to be honest, you were trying to build Bray Wyatt up to be this fucking monster where eventually you weren't going to do anything with him afterwards. You weren't going to follow up on the hotness that Bray Wyatt had. You weren't going to have him beat John Cena at WrestleMania. You pushed him way too strong. You made him way too much of a force early on this year, and now you're paying the price for it because now people compare this guy as a main event level superstar when Bray Wyatt's nowhere near main event level. It's just the truth. I mean, Bray Wyatt's nowhere near a main event level superstar. They tried to push this guy too fast because they didn't have any other ideas for someone to feud with John Cena. That's just how it was in the WWE. They were like, oh, Cena needs a WrestleMania opponent. Who can we give him? Let's give him Bray fucking Wyatt. Why? Who knows? They just wanted to give a young guy a rub against John Cena. And yeah, sure, feuding with John Cena gets your name out there. But if you don't win and you don't look dominant at any part of the feud, what's the matter? Bray Wyatt didn't look dominant in any part of the feud. He barely won a steel cage match because a little boy had to sing that he got the whole world in his hands in the demonic voice. And then we look at the stuff he did with Chris Jericho. That was garbage. That was bad. Because they were trying to make Bray Wyatt at the same level as Chris Jericho when after Bray Wyatt lost to John Cena, WWE never put him on a recovery feud. They never gave him some random guy for him to feud with to recover and gain some of that traction back. No, they just threw him on TV, made him cut some random promos, and wrestled in a lot of six-man tag matches where he mostly lost. They never put him in a recovery program to help rebuild his character or anything. They just threw him at Chris Jericho, trying to make it seem like it's a big deal that him and Jericho are feuding, when really, to be honest, they were just trying to go off the name value. They were trying to say, okay, we got Jericho versus Wyatt. That's going to be awesome enough. But they did nothing to make you really care about the Jericho and Wyatt feud. They had, what, one good promo segment, and that was when they were sitting in that interview with Michael Cole? That's it. That's all I remember from the Jericho and Wyatt feud. Maybe the steel cage match was pretty cool, but afterwards, they didn't really follow up with the steel cage match. Bray Wyatt beats Chris Jericho. Instead of continuing on this train that Bray Wyatt's on, what do? He disappears off TV for weeks, and he's cutting promos to set Luke Harper and Eric Rowan free. That's what they do with the Bray Wyatt character. Bray Wyatt, who's not an established star, not an established character yet, is sending his underlings out to the main roster when we know they're not ready. Really, to be honest, Dean Ambrose being Bray Wyatt does not mean anything. Bray Wyatt being Dean Ambrose doesn't mean anything whatsoever. Because when we look at Dean Ambrose, look at this guy. They gave him the U.S. belt. Dude did nothing with that United States title for the longest time. He loses the belt. He's having a good feud with Evolution that really, to be honest, for me, should have kept on going this year. Evolution versus The Shield should have lasted a long fucking time. But for whatever reason, the WWE had The Shield beat Evolution in a clean sweep, which I totally disagree with to this day. And really, to be honest, when The Shield broke up and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins was going on, this was the match for Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to legitimize them as stars. Dean Ambrose was just a good character that they were writing for at the time. It's rare when they actually have a character you actually care about. And they did a good job with the writing of Dean Ambrose. You know, the thing about Dean Ambrose that entertains us as fans is that he's very spontaneous. You don't know what you're going to get next from this guy. But knowing that he was just wanting revenge on Seth Rollins, and a lot of people could probably have the same type of story where it's like, my best friend betrayed me for whatever dumb dick reasons too. I would like to get revenge on him, but I can't do some of the crazy shit like Dean Ambrose. So I like this guy. So you could kind of be spiritually involved with Dean Ambrose. And yet, when Dean Ambrose becomes a single superstar, what do they do with this guy? He's treated like any other normal babyface that's not named John Cena. Yeah, he wins a couple of Raw matches, goes on longer than most superstars on Raw. He wins those matches, and then afterwards on the pay-per-view, he don't win shit. He hasn't won a singles pay-per-view match as a babyface single star. They wrote him off at his hot peak that he was at, where he was really one of the hottest superstars in the company to watch. They wrote him off TV to go film a WWE Studios film named Lockdown, where he's not even the main star. Dean Ambrose is not even the main star of that new Lockdown movie that they just filmed. He's a co-star. He's like a side character. How does that make sense to get someone that's so damn hot on our televisions right now, take him off TV, and fucking make him go film a damn movie where he's not even the main portion of the movie? He's like a co-star or like a side character. How does that make fucking sense? And then how does it make sense that Dean Ambrose can't get his ultimate revenge? Look, Dean Ambrose was one of the few babyfaces that we actually want to see get over on the heel. It's rare nowadays in the WWE where we actually have a babyface we like that we want to see get over on the heels. I mean, the only other babyface that we got to see that as of late is Daniel Bryan. Now you have Dean Ambrose, who's making Seth Rollins into a good heel, who's also making himself into a big babyface star, and who at Hell in a Cell had a chance to get a huge pay-per-view win to help him reach to that upper mid-tier, maybe future main eventer level, you know, to get that big signature win over Seth Rollins. But it's just like they fuck it up by having Bray Wyatt come and attack him, and it just seems like Dean Ambrose, he can't get the job done no matter what. It doesn't make me take Dean Ambrose serious as a single superstar, because every time this guy has something to do, he doesn't get the job done. So how am I supposed to take this guy seriously when he says he's going to beat the crap out of someone? I can't. Because every time he says it, he doesn't do it. And we all know at Survivor Series, they're going to find some dumb dick way to freaking continue this feud somehow. It's not going to end in a clean way. It's not going to end in a clean finish. It's going to be, hell, I'll be surprised if the match doesn't happen. I won't be surprised if they just did some brawl like they've been doing with Dean Ambrose as of late, where they just had Ambrose brawl with Wyatt throughout all the arena at Survivor Series. To me, it's just like, how does it benefit for Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose to feud with each other right now when they are still building to be characters in the WWE, being characters that are established on a television? How does it make sense for these guys to feud? To me, it just doesn't make sense. There hasn't been any organic reason for me to see this feud besides, oh yeah, these two, they're probably the best promo cutters in the WWE. That's the only reason why I probably want to see these guys feud. But that reason alone should not be a good enough reason for me to accept this feud and say this feud is awesome and it needs to happen right away. No, I want to see this feud when these guys are fighting like for a #1 contendership for the WWE Championship, or fighting for the WWE Championship, or I don't know, just fighting because they hate each other and they're two top stars that we haven't seen feud yet and we want to see it. Like, this feud should be happening like in 2016, people. Like, we should be clamoring at the bit of this feud, saying, how come WWE hasn't done this feud yet? And then in the summer of 2016, you have an epic Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose feud. At that point in time, in 2016, I'm hoping you would have had it where Bray Wyatt maybe have won the championship. Who knows, maybe a 2-month title reign, but at least he won the championship. You would have had it where maybe Dean Ambrose was the WWE champion too. You know, these guys are actually established. They're really big time stars for your company. Then you have them feuding this summer, so it's like, okay, you know, you didn't have them feud at that WrestleMania, but you had them feud during the summertime, and that would have been awesome because these guys we actually care about. Right now, when it comes down to it, I only care about Dean Ambrose because the dude's sporadic. That's just it. I only care about Bray Wyatt because he can cut a good promo. That's just it. But overall, when I look at this feud, I look at Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose, I just see no interest in it. I don't see how these two people should be feuding right now in the current structure of the WWE. These two should not be feuding. These two should have different feuds for them to go on. I feel like they chose the wrong opponent for Bray Wyatt, and I feel they chose the wrong opponent for Dean Ambrose because I feel they could have saved this feud at a later date for it to be better when these characters are actually better characters on our television. Because right now, I don't think it makes sense to send a returning Bray Wyatt who's trying to gain back some momentum against a guy like Dean Ambrose who has a lot of momentum but is not really a big enough star to make Bray Wyatt feel at a higher level. That's just me. It's not like if Bray Wyatt beats up like a John Cena and beats John Cena, you feel Bray Wyatt's at a higher level. He beats up Dean Ambrose, it's like, does he really feel at a higher level? Does it really make you feel like, shit, Bray Wyatt's a future main event if he beats Dean Ambrose, or shit, Bray Wyatt's a bigger star because he beat Dean Ambrose? No, it doesn't, because both guys are trying to build to reach that star level. Both guys are still climbing that ladder or trying to knock on that glass ceiling to reach to that star level. They ain't ready to have that type of feud yet. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, I get it. A lot of you guys are excited for Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. I totally understand. But understand my point of what I am saying is I don't think it's time for these two to feud. I think that the company is blowing their load way too early on a Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt feud. It's not because I hate both of these individuals. I just think it's way too early for a feud like this to happen, especially since both guys are still growing to become major stars for the company. That's just my opinion. What is your opinion on this feud? Are you just accepting this feud? Are you liking the feud so far? Are you with me that you feel like they could have saved this feud at a later date? Comment down below your thoughts on the Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose feud. Hey, if you guys like me, hit that subscribe button and give this video a big old thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOver68. Send in your questions for the Q&As. I'll see you all next time. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Peace.